So, hello everyone. We have had a lot of questions that we weren't able to answer in our first live question and answer on Facebook. So we thought we would spend some more time to go through as many questions as we can that haven't yet been answered. So I'm Daisy and I am here with Graeme from Animal Adventure, Tina from Hoofstock and Caleb from Carnivores. So, starting with carnivores then, Caleb, could you let Charlie, aged 5, know what are the tigers' names?
We've got the big male called Red, and then we have a female called Yana, who is mum to Rusty and Yuki, which are our two 10-month-old cubs.
Oh, lovely. And Sarah Trotter was interested to know what the long-term plan is for the tigers, and will they have their own families in the future, or are they to stay at Longleat?
Well, it's our dream and our hopes that the tigers do go off to breed at other collections, because they are part of a breeding program. Obviously, when they're old enough, hopefully they'll go off and have families of their own, and then we can potentially have another family of tigers here with Red and Yana, is the plan anyway. But they're trying to help their species by being part of the breeding program.
Fantastic. And lots of people, including myself, have been watching Animal Park, and Holly, aged 5, wants to know if Xena, our cheetah, is getting on now okay with her mummy.
Xena's doing absolutely amazing. Yep, she's doing really, really well. I've got some really good news, and that's Xena spends 24 hours a day with her mum and her sister. So she lives together with them all the time. They share the same pens in the house, the same enclosure, and they're one happy family now. So yeah, it took her a little while to adjust to learning how to communicate with the other cheetahs, obviously after her start to her life, but now she's perfectly happy and lives with the other cheetahs all the time.
That's absolutely amazing news. And keeping with the carnivores and probably moving to our famous four-legged friends, can you tell Sam Cullen how many lions do we have in our Longleat Pride?
So at Longleat we have 26 lions in total.
Wow.
We have one pride of 13, which is Klaus and Simba's pride. We have a pride of 9, which is Harry's pride. And then we have 4 boys at the end of the safari as well.
Amazing. And a lot of Harry questions, actually, especially from Thomas, age 6, and Nancy, age 9. They want to know, how old is Harry the lion?
The Harry's going to be 9 this year. So yeah, he's 8 at the minute.
Oh, lovely. Is that old for a lion?
No, it's about middle age for a lion. Hopefully he'll live until he's sort of 15, 16. In the wild, he probably wouldn't make it much past 10. So, but we hope in captivity he'll live a little bit longer.
That's wonderful news. And now moving down under, a question about our lovely wombat. So Graeme, Alexander, age 6, would like to know if a new male is going to be joining our female wombat, Ellie.
Yeah, so if you watch the Animal Park programme, you'll probably see the first time I've ever cried on TV as well. But sadly, we did lose Deacon, which is a massive blow to our breeding programme here. Bear in mind, the southern hairy-nosed wombats are the only ones in Europe currently. So Ellie that we have is completely unique. You cannot see any of her kind anywhere. We are working really hard to try and bring in a male. It's not the easiest thing. We've got to make sure that we have the right age, the right size of individual, and the right genetics as well. So we were quite fortunate when we were out in Australia earlier in the year helping with the bushfire recovery that we met a wombat out there that is a potential. I'm not going to tell you any more in case it doesn't happen, but we are working really hard with our partners in Australia to see whether he would be suitable. We also have a young boy potentially lined up in America as well. So we have a couple of options, and we're just going to make sure that we pick the right boy for her. But she's getting spoiled at the moment.
We'll wait for the updates on that, Graeme. I'm sure Alexander will be very happy to hear. And moving to Ellie the Wombat's fluffy neighbours, Anita Jubb was really interested to actually know how many koalas we have at Longleat.
So we have the 3 girls, Violet, Kurong and Maisie. We have Dennis, who is our young male, and we have Burke, who is our koala that came in from Osaka in Japan. So he has a massive fan club as well. So 5 in total, and yeah, fingers crossed for the future. But you know, if it all went well a couple of weeks ago, then we could have Joey's in the future. That's what we're hoping for.
Fingers crossed. And a little less cuddly, looking for a question from James, aged 8 now, Graeme. He would really like to know a little bit more about our porcupines. What are their names and how long have they been at Longleat?
So we're really fortunate. We actually have 3 species of porcupines at the moment, which is just amazing because I absolutely love them. We have a North American porcupine called Parsnip. She's the one that's right in the middle of animal adventure. They're found right up in the Rocky Mountains and into Canada, cold dwellers, really fluffy, and she is just gorging herself in as much pine needles and pine cones as possible at the moment. We have 2 prehensile tailed porcupines. They're in the area that used to be our butterfly house. And they are doing incredibly well. And then we have the North African porcupines as well, and that's Brussels, who's our older male. We've had him almost 20 years now, and then a younger female that arrived, and that's Pepper. So she's only about 2 years old.
Amazing. Thank you, Graeme. So Tina, a question about some of your neighbours at the safari actually. Barbara Mills would like to hear just a little bit more about how the gorillas have been and how they're getting on and settling as a new group.
They're doing really well. They've all found their place in the group. They all know who comes to the dinner table first and who gets the best bits first. Been a little bit different without the boats going by. We think they don't really notice, but they do. They keep their eye out for the boat and the sea lions coming past. So the keepers have been working really hard down there, keeping them entertained. The other day I heard they were even letting them listen to some music and see what they preferred and what their taste was. But yeah, the group's really settled and the boys seem to get on really well together.
Amazing. And were there any conclusions on their favourite song?
I'll report back soon.
Fantastic. And looking at a bit bigger rather than our primate relatives now, and the elephant, Nettie Smith's daughter Elsa, aged 10, has loved Longleat since visiting when she was 4 years old and has been really inspired by Anne's story. So would just like a little bit of advice about how she could maybe become a zoologist or work with elephants in the future.
Ooh. I think the keepers would be quite pleased to hear that they've inspired her to want to become a zookeeper. She's only 10. I think, you know, she needs to keep working, doing really well at school, but also if she's really loving animals and elephants especially, read as much as you can about them, you know, get so much passion out of what you do, and then, you know, carry on those studies. You know, there's lots of colleges and university when she gets a bit older, but when she does get a bit older, definitely get involved with animals. You know, try and volunteer, get as much experience as you can, whether that's from working with in little kennels with dogs to working on little farms. Anything like that is always essential to building up those skills. And then from there, get out there and get into the industry, start developing, become a keeper, learn what it means to be a keeper. It's not for everyone. Not everyone likes to be out in the rain, getting covered in mud, getting licked and, you know, coming out like you've been dragged through a bush, really, to be honest, every day. But, you know, get in there, get working, develop your skill set, become a really well-developed, rounded keeper, and that's a great foundation for you to start, and
Fantastic.
then branch out from there.
That's brilliant.
I think I'm a hoofstock keeper, and I didn't know that until I'd worked here for so many years. I could have gone anywhere, but I found my passion in giraffe. So if that's what she wants to do, that's the way to go.
That's amazing, Tina. Thank you so much. And we've had quite a few questions come through about our wolves, Caleb, and some interest on, are we expecting any pups?
We don't think we're expecting this year, no. It's sort of past the breeding season and past the point in which we think Aliska would have given birth. So currently, no, we don't think we've got any wolves this year. So It's a bit of a shame, but...
So yeah, we'll stick with the hoping for koala babies then.
Yeah, well, we can be hopeful, but we haven't seen any signs at the minute. But you never know, something might surprise us.
Thank you very much. And talking of babies, Graeme, someone called Jezzy Hartland wants to know how our red panda Maya is settling in with red panda AJ, and is there a chance we'll hear a pitter patter of tiny paws?
Well, yeah, it's a really interesting one, actually. We're watching Maya's weight very, very closely. So she is putting on weight, which is a really good sign. And I keep saying to Sam and the team down there, please, 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 babies would be lovely. But she only arrived at the beginning of the year. The breeding season for the red pandas is about sort of December, January time. So the likelihood is she's probably missed the breeding season this year. But she has bonded with our original male AJ very, very well. So he's a chilled out, very laid back individual. She has actually been with other male pandas before and never bonded, never got on with any of them. So it's a really good sign that she's bonded with AJ. And yeah, fingers crossed. But right now she's spending a lot of her day about 40 foot up in a tree, enjoying the Wiltshire sunshine and countryside down here. And yeah, doing incredibly well.
Oh, brilliant. We had a message come through on our live comments, and this is someone called Louis, who was actually supposed to be visiting us at Longleat next Saturday to meet the red pandas as a VIP experience for his 9th birthday. Unfortunately, obviously, he can't come and join us, but I think it would be lovely if we could give him a happy birthday shout out from us all here at Longleat. After 3, if we just give a big wave and a happy birthday to Louis, that would be fantastic. So 3, 2, 1, happy birthday, Louis! Hopefully all of the red pandas were joining in there as well. So going round then one at a time, we're going to ask what your favourite animal is. So Tina, what is your favourite animal?
This is a very cruel question. Very cruel. Giraffe. I couldn't imagine a day not coming in, opening those doors and being the first thing I see. It's part of my life and I love seeing them every day, so giraffe.
Fantastic. And Caleb?
Mine is lions, without a shadow of a doubt. I love all carnivores, but lions. I started working here and wanted to work with all the big cats, and then Harry was born just after I started, and then from then on it's been lions because I've watched them grow up, and yeah, absolutely love lions.
Oh, brilliant. And we have enough here.
Yes.
And
Graeme, what is your favourite animal?
This is my least favourite question ever, because I never pick. Do you know what? I always go for cockroaches, and the reason why is because if I pick the koalas, the red panda team get upset. If I pick the pandas, the sea lion team get upset. You can't win. So nobody likes a cockroach, so I like the cockroaches. I think they're probably my favourites.
Brilliant. So could you tell us a fun fact about a cockroach? Just one.
Do you know what I find fascinating is something that Madagascan hissing cockroaches, which sadly I'm actually allergic to, which is just rubbish because I like them so much. And they actually give birth to the young live, right, which is just amazing. So they send the eggs out, the eggs dry, and then they suck them back in, and the babies hatch out inside mum's tummy, and then they walk out. It's just the most fascinating thing, and it is the creepiest, horriblest thing to watch, but it's fascinating. Nature is just amazing.
Amazing. And actually, Tina, a question for and about giraffes from Indy, age 6. How long does a giraffe live for?
Ooh, out in the wild, it's estimated approximately their lifespan is about 15 to 20. Here in captivity, females can get between 25. Some have even gone surpassed that, to be honest. Males tend to don't live as long. They're around the 20-21 age because their life is so stressful, being surrounded by so many girls. So yeah, unfortunately, they don't live quite as long.
I understand. And a carnivore question now from quite a few people online. One final question, Caleb. How much meat does a tiger and a lion eat a day?
So they eat about 10% of their body weight a week. So, for example, Red the tiger is eating about 24 kilos of meat a week. So, yeah, they sort of eat. We don't feed them every day because obviously in the wild they wouldn't catch and eat something every day. So we feed them 2 or 3 times a week. So they get fed really big meals, not very often. And that's the best way to look after big carnivores because they don't need to eat every day.
Fantastic. Lots of energy conserving.
Yeah.
And talking of food, Graeme, Claire Tambling has asked if there is a struggle to get food for the animals like there is for us at the minute in lockdown.
Yeah, do you know, it was a big concern of ours originally, actually, but we work with some amazing producers and growers, and other than being short on sweet potato, which was the one thing that you wouldn't understand how many things eat sweet potato until you can't get it. But yeah, we've been all right. So touch wood, we've been all right. Our growers are supplying eucalyptus. We grow a lot of bamboo, willow, browse on site. And then most of our fruit and veg that comes in has been okay. So yeah, so far so good. We're okay at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, that is really, really good news. And that's all we've got time for our second wave of questions. So hopefully we've got some more answered for everyone. And once again, just from everyone at Longleat, we want to say thank you for the questions and of course, stay safe.